So maybe then to shift from the popularizing of Buddhism and teaching of Buddhism more broadly to the academic study of Buddhism. So for example, I teach a course here called the Introduction to Buddhism, and we present a survey of the history of Buddhism and the foundations of Buddhist thought. And my course is probably similar to the way it's taught in most American universities, where we teach the students that there's a foundational period of the development of Buddhist traditions that is closely, probably closest representation of that is in the Pali Tripitaka. And at a later time, we had the development of the Mahayana Sutra tradition. And then even later than that, we have the first appearances of Tantra in India. And that historical way of understanding the development of Buddhist literature and practice through these different stages is really central to the way that we teach and think about Buddhism. But I know in a traditional context, it's understood that all of these three vehicles were taught at the same time. And I wonder if Rinpoche has any thoughts about how a modern scholar of Buddhism who takes account of what we know about the development of texts and the appearance of different kinds of Buddhist texts over time, how they can find a way to understand that in harmony with the Buddhist tradition's understanding of all of these texts as authentic teachings of the Buddha.
Parchir tate ngarasu nachu kandang kaya na shirna tare ji ngidong ge ji kangzak maksong da na darshan namla nangsong ase jin ra timo yore da nangsong ayen na tikchi gna nangsong ji de takchi de yin se ge yomare shirna sanjip chondon de ge tare chungkur rambab jin de korno to darsha thamo wa ga nang ra so ra thamo wa ga nang wa song ji de ngacha ge thamo wa ga lorji da ta ne sha go na re thamo mayin ba song ji gon je da to tare ngasa ga mo da na di mo tham je da thamo mayin ba la song ge yomare de yin na sanji ge tare ta tangsang gon rol ta de yin na tare tangbo thangman ge chu war da thakcheng ge chu thama tare ge thakcheng ge nang ge yang sang ge dam re re khor na tare tingkor da na de jin da na sang di ba la so ba de song de ne yang ji thamo mayin ba ge ne na 또 상황을 그냥 지금 라나메 바가 짓다디 뭐 송요래 또 제가 있나 어차피 워크 있나 야르블로 지는데나 그러나 잡지 던전은 뭐 제가 전에 달에 던전 춤정을 되잖아 다 당보다리가 산지가 잡밥 정리근 거근에는 말았어 전에 양직 정리가 말았어 전에 달이가 야거 그 여도 추치르 다스르 전에 럼바전도 워크 여도 상황 다스르다 워크 양서 상황 까마다는 냐마 테르마들이 네 달 던전은 뭐지 그때 보이기 요지도 야나 그렇게다 지금 지려네 땅이 뜻하면은 땅상들이 보이고 나도 있는 자가 시집 그 야거 그 나도 있는 자가 정말 그 땅상 그 탐지 그 켈링고나 다리가 던전은 뭐지 침종 그래서 말하는 정나 드네 다리 로지 있는 자가 같이마다 야하즈다 랍주 타고 요지려 삼가 대인이나 다리가 산지 그 어더샤 남라나 요원도 뭐차건 로 미완도 제나 럼지 손을 막도 되면 틱치가 다리 나죠 말. 틱치가 손주가 돼요. 공바 카카다네. 연제슈 야통 카카요 그래. 당부 나hnan데 치료인데 뉴리츠지던 코난 베치 겨려온데다 이나 카페 그바레. 데 나나미 나가 야이근데 겨져나 당선 몸보근 돈 탑고면도 되는 또 파르처 로르간르스 그러는데 다 야미 에르카도 게데다는데 티 워중고 다리티 파르칸상 다르코 파르그 요레 तेना तारिक ताज खा साबोनज गियो योरे तांसंग लोरजी गिरजरी दा तिनाना गारें गारें दन शिलो लोसक छका जोखसिसाना लोसक छका जयताना खुंग सोंजुंग मारे तांसंग त छकारा लोसक मेनेना तने तारिक नजक कमंदवा
Maybe to follow on that a little, so if we leave aside the esoteric tradition, even just looking at the Mahayana Sutra tradition, for example, so in many of the Mahayana Sutras, for example, it will say Shakyamuni was residing at Vulture Peak or some other location, and these people were present, and he gave this teaching. And the text is presented as a teaching of Shakyamuni Buddha, so we can date that historically to around 500 years BCE. But these texts don't appear. We have no record of any of them until many, many centuries later. And so most scholars now think that those Mahayana sutras were written by someone much later, around the 1st century BC or to the first century CE, in that period of time. And there have been very thorough studies, for example, of the Perfection of Wisdom sutras in different lengths to determine which ones were earlier and later. So with some precision, we can actually say when these texts first appeared. And that's different from what's said in the text, that it was taught by Shakyamuni at that place many centuries earlier than that. So even on that exoteric level, I wonder, how do we solve that contradiction?
Nanchuga Lurgi Nana Sarvo Sonore, when Sanji Jundunde Tambone, Tatansan Tamoaga, Wandushena Loni Tonga Jargapchingat Chudans of Terran Sonore, Totari Yoda, Shena della Gumbam Tomam Tomomboyore, the Sanji Jundun de Segio Mare, Sanji Jundun de Mayambag, when Ishi Nandraga, Janakatari, Kunzi Nandraga, they son Samala, Tari Lurgiger Tatsardana, Jutsur Tiroyana, Ramandras Kuranso, Mombo Yogiore, Ganayana Teore. The Yenre da Yenea, that is Sanji Jundun de Sons Hardi de Tinirkamna Dariga, Taji Yiki Paya Mezeore. The Jima Dari Gabda Town, the Gabdani, Gabda Sambaji, Kirodan, the Didari Yiki Paviare. That day in the Nderkutuba teaching as a kid, and Nderkutuba teaching as a kid, Tinirkamna Darigajig, Nimajig, Dana, Davajig, that Sejig, the Tuzi Sarka Yomare. The Sarka make you a terana, Jig touching your sonina, teaching as a kid, Simchin Mombo, Nancer Mons, your resident, that the Tansang Matamchik killing Yomare. The Kimalangi Janzina, Machaki Shirtung Lorgi in Narana, that purchase that is Sanji European Irkamnati, touching the Moson is a Tansam Matamchik. Pernadariga and Zalangum Kebag Musi in Narana Cool Lurgiganana, that could touching the sonar is a git. They Zamzi Yona Zamzaka, they Driore, they Chirizenina, that to cook sona yonere, Tisono, the Chestavian, the Ingedo, Sanjiger, Jimatari Kungoson, Chaka, Yike Tojo, Zaidana, De Marashayore, De Marashayore, Drapchambatan, Homatamchaka, Yiketan Jabre, the Yenikirondi, that you Kungo, the son you know, that Tansantariga. The Ribag Shadi Carionara, the Denhontari near Tokyo. The Nina Nisanotana, Tina Lotsik that that's exams, Tirmos Zagson Mare, Lalalo, Tariga, Dumjaz and the Low some jazz in the purchase that is Santi Denetana. That Jimatari, Kabdarambasum, the Rambaramba Genetana Trishere. The Yenina, Lodan Davagati, was so Mejijanzi in Naranata, Lorgitana, then Ravagajon Hajamambo, Yonera, Huernadariga, the Isichuluga, Darigati, Chundras in Janarana, that Davanda Dana Tsendes, and Soyo Maridana, Inaya Korosoga, Yamsalangadana, Sadanga, Tamjula, Darin Zangayore.
Thank you,